Reiss reporting for Total East Brunswick. Thank you for joining us. We're very fortunate to have with us today MaryEllen Firestone, Director of Library Services at East Brunswick Public Library. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you, Barbara.
So now, by the time this airs, you will have been a veteran because you will have already appeared before a congressional staff briefing. Tell us a little bit about why you're going to Washington.
Well, I have to tell you, Barbara, I was very excited to be invited to brief the congressional staff about really our Business Resource Center and how we support job seekers and workforce development. Rush Holt was here in the library last January, and he is a tremendous advocate for public libraries and has really been pushing to make Congress aware that public libraries support workforce development. So my job was to go down and speak to the congressional staff and teach them about the work that we're doing here at East Brunswick Public Library. One of the reasons we were invited is that we started a Business Resource Center. The center is in its second full year of operation, and it was started to not only to support small businesses in Middlesex County and entrepreneurs, but also to assist job seekers. That piece of it is really a traditional library service. We have always supported job seekers. Really what the Business Resource Center did for us is to focus people, you know, that we had these services, to make people understand that they could come to the library and get like resume review, help with interviewing skills, computer help, certainly computer skills. Our library has been teaching computers for over 10 years. We actually only kept statistics for our computer classes since 2005. So we, as everyone knows, with the economic downturn, a lot of people that were in jobs lost those jobs. And so we really reached out to that community and had them come in and relearn you know, the skills that they needed for the 21st century. So this was a real wonderful opportunity for me to go down and really teach the congressional aides in both the House and Senate what libraries do and how we support job seekers.
Now, for those that are not familiar with the Business Resource Center, although a lot of people have heard about it, for those that haven't, where is it located in the library?
Okay, well, that's pretty easy, except we've changed, we've done a lot of musical chairs in this library for the last 3 years. Anyone, first of all, can come in and talk to our reference librarians. Mm-hmm. Those are the first people you see when you come in. But the Business Resource Center, when you walk in the front door and turn right, there's a big window. It used to hold passports. Mm-hmm. Before that, it was the magazine room. So I think most people do know that it's over where the computer lab is. Mm-hmm. We have a physical space, but the Business Resource Center is really so much more than the physical space.
Because you also have classes as well.
Exactly. We really created a model with the idea that it could be duplicated in other public libraries. The model was we started a business leadership team, and that team was made up of small business owners and entrepreneurs and library staff. And that team really pushed forward the idea of what could we offer to our small businesses in Middlesex County that was timely and also flexible enough that we could keep adding things. And so it's been wonderful. As I said, we're in our second year of operation. We have had courses, everything from social media and how you can use that to help your business grow. Recently we have teamed up with SCORE that has helped people think about a new business if they have a great idea, like how do you go from idea to starting your business. We have made tremendous networking connections during the 2 years that the Business Resource Center has been in operation. And it really is 3 prongs. We have the first big prong is supporting businesses and entrepreneurs, and that's with classes and computer skills and really we kind of listen to the community so that we can keep creating new services for them. The second prong is our job seekers. We want many people with this very difficult economy have lost their jobs or need different skills. So we created a resume review where you really sit down and you meet 3 times with an HR professional and go over, like, what are you trying to achieve, where are you looking for jobs. And the third prong, which is equally important, is business research. And Karen Parry is in charge of the Business Resource Center, and she is really the premier business research person. We got a state grant to really help businesses grow through databases that are offered through the state library. One of those databases is Frost & Sullivan, and that is a database that does market research in many different categories of business. So I want people listening to this program to know that we are a tremendous resource both for small businesses, home-based businesses, entrepreneurs, and job seekers. And so they should come in and visit us and find out what we can offer to them to support their businesses.
There's a little something for everyone.
Definitely, definitely.
And if let's say I'm starting a new business.
Okay.
And I want to have a membership with the BRC, what does that afford me?
Okay. Well, yes, we do have a business resource membership. As I said, this is for Middlesex County residents. Clearly, East Brunswick residents have a leg up because they already have a library card. But we're reaching out to businesses that may not be located in East Brunswick, and they can purchase a business membership. And that really helps them, helps us service them better. We allow them to have 2 free room rentals if they want to conduct business or a meeting in our meeting rooms. We support them by putting them on our website and helping them market their business. They are allowed to take 2 free courses that we offer here through the Business Resource Center. So it's really a place. We also have a networking of events throughout the year where they can come and meet other business owners and kind of, you know how it is, you swap stories, war stories, and you learn from each other. So it really is just a way of connecting small business owners to each other and also to the resources of the library.
Some people never even think of all these things when they come to the library, that all these resources are available. Now we also have meeting rooms.
That's correct.
Now, some who are not familiar with it, a lot of nonprofit groups depend on the library for these.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit how that whole system works.
Okay. Well, we actually just had a fairly large change in our meeting room policy. And one of the reasons, and that is something I didn't mention, is in my tenure here at the library has unfortunately had a tremendous decrease in our budget. We lost revenues because of the economy. We also lost support from our municipality, really because they were being squeezed as well. So the library really needed to look at ways to bring in more revenues, really to sustain our traditional services into the future. So we looked at the meeting rooms that are extremely popular. Of course, with the Business Resource Center, we did start offering those meeting rooms to our local businesses and our businesses throughout the county to have their meetings because it's very centrally located. It's a nice venue for them. So we really needed to look at the Board of Trustees who really set policy for the library, really wanted to look at the bigger picture. And they did decide to change the meeting room policy. And we did that really weighing, over the years, we've gotten many requests from groups that in the old days we had I guess a regulation that you had to have at least 15 people in order to meet in our meeting rooms. Well, now that we are charging a fee to all groups to meet in our meeting rooms, they can have any number of people they want. so there is an advantage. You could have a very small group that's just starting out and going to grow into the future that can rent the meeting rooms. We also had other prohibitions that we removed because now people are paying for the meeting rooms. So groups can actually rent the meeting rooms, and they can charge like an entrance fee to any of their programs. Prior to our new policy, they could not do that. Every meeting had to be an open public meeting. So that has shifted, and somewhat to the better. A lot of groups have come to us and they're delighted that they can now rent our meeting rooms, and they can charge a small fee, or they can conduct like a little raffle while they're in their meetings, or sell some, like a book or whatever. So it's actually working to some groups' advantage. We do rent out meeting rooms to our business members. We also are advertising them heavily so that people know that this is a great place to meet.
Mm-hmm. And, we're on the topic of funding, and as the director for the last 3 years, you've been looking to help secure the future of the library.
Yes.
And it seems an opportune time to talk about the East Brunswick Public Library Foundation. Some may not even know about it. As myself, I was not aware.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about how this works so that people can really help the library.
Well, thank you for asking. And yes, really, as I said, I became the director in July of 2009, really as the bottom was falling out of our economy. So I had to really quickly think about our future. And I had spoken for years to other library directors, many of whom did have foundations, and so we had talked about having a foundation here. We did start that foundation late in 2009. Of course, there's many pieces to it. You have to put together a board. You have to do all the paperwork with the IRS. So that takes time. So really, it really is in its infancy, our library foundation. But we have been fortunate. We were able to, because we had some money donated to the library. Someone had donated a large amount in their will to the library. So that was kind of our seed money for the foundation. We were able to work with a very talented consultant who helped us to really think about, how to go out to the community. And we've been doing it. It's a very slow process. My goal for this foundation is that we have an endowment that we can then support the library for many years into the future. But we are rolling this out. Foundations take a lot of work. We are in the process now. We just put together, we had our founding board members who are now finished with their tasks. They have actually done their work, and now they are turning it over to a new foundation board. And we just put together a nominating committee that is looking for new foundation board members. And what we're looking for are people in the community that are well connected, that can open their Rolodexes and help us find people who are willing to give significant dollars to the library. This is in support of, we did do a case statement that you see in front of you. This is in support of growing our wonderful programs here at the library and really securing our future. It is not a surprise to anyone listening to this program that our public library, particularly East Brunswick, we have always been a fabulous library. And we've always been a fabulous library because we have had always both private and public support. Our private support came in the form of the Friends of the Library. The Friends of the Library are still quite active. There is no stopping them when it comes to raising monies for the library. And a lot of people ask me, what's the difference? Why have a Friends and a foundation? And the way I explain it is, the Friends are really the PTA of the library. They really do those really wonderful small things. They support our children's programs, our adult programs, our summer reading program. The Friends have been stellar in supporting all of those for many, many years. A foundation is really it's really a couple of steps higher than that. That is really looking for monies that we can put into an endowment that will really support big ticket items. For example, I would love to have a science chair here at the library. And we talked about that would cost almost $100,000. So that's something that someone could underwrite because they really believe in the public library. They really believe in the library doing science and math programs that would enhance the youth of our community. So that's just one idea that a foundation would really undertake to support the growth of the library into the future.
Now, for those that would like to learn more about the foundation and its work, is there a email address that they can go to?
Right now, I would ask people to email my email address because I am working very closely with the new board members, and we are actually we're in the process of establishing a foundation office in the building. Believe it or not, what's holding us up is a telephone. To get a new telephone line in the building is quite a chore. So we're slowly establishing an office for the foundation. But I would ask people to email me if they are interested in either working on a committee of the foundation, talking to me about their ideas of where I can go to look for private support. I'd be delighted to talk to them.
Sounds good. And there's so many things. We haven't had you on this show for quite some time, and there's a lot of things going on here at the library. Is there anything else that you wanted to highlight during your time with us today?
Sure. Actually, thank you. I have to say it's been an exciting 3 years. The Board of Trustees and I embarked on a strategic plan that is really guiding the library. We finished that strategic plan at the end of 2011. So for the next 3 years, 3 to 5 years, we are actually going year by year to implement that strategic plan. And it's a wonderful what would we call it? For me, it's a wonderful landscape map to show where we want to move this library. One of the things that we learned as we were doing the strategic plan, we had what we call community conversations with key community members, and it was wonderful to hear their love of the library, their passion for what we do here, and really, when we talked about the economic realities of running the library, and we did have some cuts both in hours and staff, they pretty much said to us, "We love everything you do. We want you to just keep doing it." And we laughed because it's all like, okay, well, we need money to do that, But it was a great validation of what we're doing. But the strategic plan really talked about us as a community center, as a place where people want to come and meet their neighbors and learn from each other. And we have certainly fulfilled that role. We do a lot of festivals and different India cultural events and Asian New Year events. So we've really played the role of a community center for East Brunswick. And we see us continuing in that vein. The other thing that came out through the strategic plan was that they wanted us to really keep offering a place, inviting them to the table, welcoming people with their ideas, to share their ideas, and to talk about difficult issues maybe in the community. So we are trying to do that during this election year. We're doing 2 different programs about the Electoral College, which a lot of people don't understand, including myself, and also about the impact of women on the voting in this presidential election year.
Which has been a big issue.
It's a big issue.
A big issue. Now, also, maybe now to the more daily operations, the self-checkout, which people see, right, when they come in.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about how that came about and how it works.
Okay. Well, I have to say, that actually that preceded me in terms of talking about it. We know that other libraries have had self-check for many, many years, and And for us, unfortunately, part of the reason we really looked at it is that we did lose staff in 2010. That was the most difficult budget year. And we started thinking about how can we streamline some of the systems in this building so that we can redeploy staff and use them more efficiently. So the self-checkout really was an answer to the crisis that we had already gone through, and we were all feeling a little pressure. Everybody in this building, we have a tremendous staff that really has pitched in 100%. And we felt that we needed to just kind of look at where could we save staff time and maybe redeploy it elsewhere. So the self-checks, the other big push for that is people like the efficiency and the privacy. People like to be able to check out their own materials. Sometimes you're going through difficult things with your children or with your marriage, and people really don't want others to know what they're checking out. So it's a real boost for privacy, and we heard from our colleagues in other libraries that people really liked being able to come in and pick what they wanted and just check themselves out and go. And I have to say, it has been quite successful. We had a little, at the beginning, you always kind of make a step and then have to step back. We had tried it, moving all the reserve books out onto the floor. People were unhappy with that. So then we redesigned the circulation desk and we put the self-checks right there. And it's wonderful because now the staff can kind of move back and forth very easily. If people are having trouble at the self-check, they can help them, and then they can go back and check out at the traditional circulation desk.
And the reserve is right there as well.
Reserves
now.
are right there, so it's really quite convenient. We have many people are really high library users who love the convenience of running in, grabbing their reserves, checking them out, and running back out.
It is a convenient service, and my kids were even able to do it.
Oh yeah, the kids love it.
So MaryEllen, tell us, it's been 3 years. What would you say, looking back on that time, has been your greatest achievement here at the library? I think really weathering the storm of the budget. We had to make some very difficult decisions, and I have to say they were made always respecting the dignity of our staff. The board and I wrestled about closing hours. We closed on Wednesday nights, which was particularly difficult. And I hope someday to get those hours back. That's my goal. But also, I guess, the Business Resource Center, it's something new, it's something wonderful. We also, I have to say, an initiative I didn't mention was the Just for the Health of It. These are two big initiatives that we did under very difficult circumstances, and they have been wildly successful and popular. So I'm very proud of that. And that whole section, for those that aren't familiar with Just the Health of It, it's that whole section.
It's not only a section, but it is actually a service. Anyone that comes in with a health or wellness question to our reference desk, we actually prepare a customized packet of information for them, and it's a tremendous service. And we have reached out to our senior population. We have reached out to assisted livings and different populations that we think could really benefit from knowing about this reference service.
Amazing service.
Yeah, so I encourage people to come in and talk to us about it.
And now, looking towards the future, what would you say is a hope or a goal that you have for the library? My
goal is to, go through the strategic plan and really make it happen. We are looking for our Youth Services Department. We want to do some big changes there, really make things interactive for our young people, really emphasizing early childhood literacy. And also, I just do want to mention that this library is great because of our staff, our tremendous staff, who give 110%, and also for the support from the community. We have people that are passionate about library services, and they put their money where their mouth is. They know what it takes to be really successful, and they really help us succeed in serving our community.
Well, thank you so much for coming here today and speaking with us. And really, thank you for the wonderful library that you have here. I know my family, my kids love the library. I love the library, and we appreciate all that you and your staff do for us.
Thanks, Barbara.
Thank you for joining us for Totally East Brunswick. We look forward to seeing you again soon.